Now, as we are very clear with the materialized view, let's discuss about the big bro of materialized view that is known as dynamic tables. Let me give the heading. Dynamic tables are big brothers of materialized view. So here in materialized view, you are not allowed to use more than one table, but in dynamic table, you can literally join, transform, anything you can do inside the dynamic table. There is no restriction of single table presence. Let me write it down here. So I had written that unlike materialized views, dynamic tables fully support the joins. This means you can literally write any kind of joins. So if we talk about the parameters and syntax of dynamic table is very similar to materialized view. All we need to say is we need to say create or replace dynamic table, and then we need to pass the table name. This is one thing. And inside this, we need to pass couple of parameters. The first parameter for dynamic table is target lag. This means after how much time you want to refresh your dynamic table. 1 minute, 1 day, 1 hour, 1 week, or whatever. So we have couple of options inside the target lag. So as of now, I will mention the target lag can be in minutes, hours, days, or target lag can be downstream. Okay, and we will cover that downstream part specifically because that's very important to create the lineage and dependencies. Okay, so this is the first thing. The second parameter for dynamic table is warehouse, and this is again very important to mention the warehouse, and you already know what is warehouse. And the third parameter for dynamic table is refresh mode, that how you want to refresh your table. You mentioned target lag, Jaswinder, that okay, after 10 minutes I will go for refresh, but what kind of refresh you want from me? Do you want full table refresh? Do you want incremental refresh? Or do you want that I decide? So there are three options which are there in refresh mode. Those are auto, incremental, or full. If you mention refresh mode is equal to auto, then Snowflake will decide whether it needs to do the complete refresh or it needs to do the incremental refresh. This is how the dynamic tables properties make this declarative approach, which can help you in creating the ETL workflows without using any task, without using materialization view, obviously. And dynamic tables store the data inside the storage. So you have to incur the storage cost. And second cost will be for the warehouse. And that's obvious, right? Because you are running the warehouse, you need to pay some cost. So this is how dynamic tables are advanced version of materialized views, and they can be refreshed automatically based on the target lag, and you need to mention the warehouse, and then you need to mention the refresh mode, how you want to refresh, auto, incremental, or full. Okay, now let's go to Snowflake and let's implement these dynamic tables. I am back into my Snowflake. I will create a new SQL file and I will name this SQL file as dynamic underscore table SQL. So first thing first, I will create couple of things like database and schema. Then I will be creating a table which is department table. Then I will be creating the employee table. And then I will be inserting some data inside both of these tables. Let me quickly run all of these scripts. And you already know how to create database, how to create schema, how to insert records and everything, right? Yes. So now all the things are done. It's the time that I go and create the dynamic table. For that, I will say create or replace dynamic table. And then I need to mention the dynamic table name. Let's say DT employee directory. And now I will mention the target lag. So after how much time I want this to be refreshed? Let's say I want by 1 minute and the minimum duration is also 1 minute. Okay. Yes. Now I will mention the warehouse. So I will use this compute warehouse only. I will say compute underscore warehouse. Done. And now I will say select columns from employee table. I will name this as alias E, and I will join my department table D on the basis of E dot department ID is equal to D dot department ID. Then Now I will pull some columns, and I had already pulled the columns. So I will mention here and copy paste. So this is how I created my first dynamic table. Now I will run this dynamic table. Okay. So I will just hit Control plus Enter and it will run the dynamic table. And yes, it had successfully created my dynamic table. So as of now, I just mentioned the target lag 1. Let's see if I am having the data inside this now or not. I will say select star from this one. And let's run this. And yes, I am having the data. And you notice that it is not even 1 minute that it had already loaded the data. Why? I defined target lag 1 minute, but it loaded the data immediately, which is not accurate, right? So what happens? There is another parameter which is known as initialize, and you can mention that as well. Let's say on schedule. Yes. Now I had recreated this, and now if I just refresh this, I won't be having any data because it had not completed the 1 minute. So till the time it will complete 1 minute, I will show you the dynamic table. So I will say show dynamic table like dt underscore. Let's run this. And yes, I can see my dynamic table dt directory. It is created on 18th of July, and then I can see my database and schema and rows and bytes and everything. Refresh mode is incremental, which is what automatically it is taking. So even I can define it here. Let's define it here. I will say refresh underscore mode is equal to auto. Okay, auto means I will let the dynamic table decide what is appropriate. Should that go for incremental or should that go for full refresh? Okay, so I am leaving this to dynamic table. So that's why I had mentioned refresh mode is equal to auto. Let me add this initialize on schedule as well as here, because this is also one parameter which we just seen. So yes, so now this is more good. Coming back, we had created our table, and yeah, let's see what other parameters we can see. We can see the text. Text means create script. Then I am able to see the schedule which is active. Auto clustering is off, that's fine, and everything else looks okay to me. Now it should be more than 1 minute. Let me try to run the dynamic table and see if this is having data now or not, and I can see this is having data. Let me go to the query profile as well, and let's see how the query profile is looking. And see guys, this is how the query profile is looking. It is saying the table scan for the dynamic table, and then it is doing the result scan. Now let me go to databases. Let me go inside this lab schema, and you can see here that it had created a separate folder. It is not stored in the tables folder. It had created a separate folder naming dynamic tables. And inside this, I am having this dynamic table. So this is how the dynamic tables work. Now we had discussed the first part, which is with target lag as time. Now I will convert this only, but I will comment this first for you guys. Okay, let me comment it out here. Yes. Now I will say target lag is equal to downstream for this. Okay. And I will create another dynamic table. And I will use this dynamic table inside the newly created dynamic table. And let's see if this works or not. Okay. But before that, let me rerun this. This ran successfully. And if I try to query this, it should be empty. And yes, this is empty, which is good. I will create another dynamic table. I will say create or replace dynamic table, and table name I will give dt underscore department underscore financial underscore summary. Very good. Now I will mention the target lag here. I will say target lag is equal to 1 minute. Okay. Now I will mention the warehouse. So I will say warehouse is equal to compute warehouse. Then now I will create some aggregations on top of my previously created dynamic table. So I need to copy paste the dynamic table name. I will copy this name. I will come here and paste it here. And then I will try to aggregate based on department name. Okay. So I will first pull the department name, and then I will say count of employee ID, and I will name this as head count, let's say. Then I will say sum of salary, anything. I'm just taking a normal example. Then I will say, let's say total payroll. Fine. Then I will say average of salary, let's say. Then I will say average concat, let's say. Yes. Now I need to mention the group by because I'm doing aggregation. So I will say group by one or department name, anything is fine. And yes, this should work. Let me run this. And here in this dynamic table, I'm not mentioning the tables. I am referring this dynamic table complete. Okay. Let me run this. Yes, it had ran successfully. Let me try to query this table now. I will say select star from this table and let me run this. And yeah, I am able to see the aggregations based on departments. Very good. Now, if I query this again, because I had inserted 4 record, if I will query this again, I should be having 4, 5 records, whatever. So 4 records I'm having. Now I will insert 1 record. So I will come here down and I will insert 1 record in department table and 1 record in employee table. Okay. And now as I had just inserted these 2 records, immediately this should not be reflected here, right? Because we had mentioned that initialize on schedule, and second thing, it is downstream. Let me see if this works. Yeah, as of now, it is not mentioned. So it is downstream. But now, after a minute, if I run this one, it will reflect here. Okay, let's wait for a minute. And now, if once I had ran this, and let me rerun this again for you guys, I am able to see the DevOps engineering as well. So this was because I had mentioned the target lag of 1 minute here. Okay. And if I query this now, this should also be having the record and I can see 5 records now. This is how we can work with dynamic tables. Now let me show you one more thing. So if you use non-deterministic functions inside your dynamic table, that will create a problem and I want to show you that as well. Let's say this is my dynamic table only and now here after the employee ID, I will say current timestamp. So this is a non-deterministic table because this will keep on changing every millisecond or every second, right? So these kind of functions, if you mention, this will be making your dynamic table a very unoptimized. It will run it, but it will make that very unoptimized because see here, it is saying full refresh mode was selected. Why? Because query contains the function current timestamp. But tracking changes is not supported on query with non-deterministic functions. Make sense? So if you mention the non-deterministic functions like current timestamp, UUID, random, it will go for full refresh every time and you don't want to do that. Trust me. Unless you literally want to do that, that's up to you. But this is the worst practice to mention the non-deterministic values inside the dynamic table. Let me write it down in the notes so that you can understand that very clearly. Don't include non-deterministic functions like current timestamp, UUID, random inside the selection logic of the dynamic table. This is very important to note. And let me go back and let me show you one more thing. Here inside the department, I will say select star from department, which we can do. That's fine. But now I will mention here limit 1. What will happen now? Let me run this and show you what will happen. It ran successfully, but change tracking is not supported on queries with limit 1. With limit, sorry. So you cannot track any change with this limit. So this means don't use functions like limit, fetch, top inside your dynamic table. Let me write it down here as well. I will say don't use these functions as well. Make sense? Very good. And the third and the final thing which we discussed obviously here, that the minimum target lag you can mention is 1 minute. You cannot mention 1 second or 50 seconds. That's not possible. The minimum target lag should be 1 minute. That's the minimum. Okay, let me say minimum is 1 minute. Okay. So these are the properties of dynamic tables, which is the big bro of materialization view. And we discussed how we can create the dynamic tables. And for that, we need to say create or replace dynamic table. Then we can mention target lag, warehouse, refresh mode, and initialization schedule are optional. It's up to you. If you want to mention, you can mention. If you don't want to mention, no problem at all. And target lag can be minutes, days, hours, weeks, and even downstream. Okay. And then we discuss the three most crucial points. Let me write it down here. I will say points to remember. Okay. So you need to remember these points when you are working with dynamic tables, that don't use non-deterministic functions, don't use limit, fetch, top, pivot, or percent lag functions, and minimum target lag you can define is 1 minute. Make sense? This is all and everything about dynamic tables.